Aloha. Welcome to Making Democracy Work. This program is funded by the League of Women Voters of Honolulu. My name is Kaui Lucas. I'm your host today. And today we have a really special program to me personally because this is a land that is near to where I live, next door. And I have a new neighbor. He is Tyrone Montayre. He's the founder of Protect and Preserve Hawaii. And he's also kind of, I call him the accidental conservationist because of the way he acquired 330 acres, which is quite a lot of land, in East Honolulu. And the background here is from the drone shot that we'll see soon, but it's in the very back of Niu. On one side is Hawaii Loa Ridge, and that side, Hawaii Loa Ridge, and this side is Kulepeomoa Ridge, and in the middle is Pia Valley. So, Tyrone, tell us how you happen to become the new steward in charge of Pia.
Yeah, so every year I go to the city and county auction looking for investment properties, or just to get lucky with a studio or something. And just so happens there was a large piece of land, and I kind of went into it blindly, not even thinking I was going to bid on it, but the opportunity presented itself, so I just figured I'd go for it and end up getting it. And yeah, I started doing research, because it is preservation land. I ended up doing the research and just realizing that, it was a good way and a good tool that I could use to give back to the community. And there was also not enough community engaged and environmental friendly landowners, so I thought, I could probably do it myself, if instead of just trying to let it go to somebody who's not, really into what's going to happen to it.
So Tyrone got on the fast track, maybe it's a roller coaster, of learning about conservation, and he was excellent at networking with all of the different organizations in the Maunalua area. And there are several. And one of his early contacts was J.C. Watson. J.C. Watson is is the manager for the Ko'olau Mountain Watershed Partnership, and is very knowledgeable about, that's his whole life, is the mountains and forestry. So he teamed up with Tyrone, and we have a clip of an interview that we did with Tyrone, talking about what it really means to take on something like Tyrone has just stepped into.
The Ko'olau Mountains Watershed Partnership itself it's an alliance of all of the major landowning partners across the entire Ko'olau range. Our partnership boundary spans about 110,000 acres, stretching from the Ki'iwi coastlands, or the mountains right behind Ki'iwi Coast, all the way through Kahuku. We have 18 different landowning partners now, including State of Hawaii, Kamehameha Schools, Board of Water Supply, Protect and Preserve Hawaii, of course, and then a host of others. And yeah, we really specialize in trying to achieve these landscape scale watershed protection and restoration achievements by means of protecting them through ungulate fencing like we do in the northern central Ko'olau, to on the ground active restoration through native outplants, and of course education as well, and inspiring the next generation of conservation stewards. I'm sure as you know now, Tyrone, and Kaui, you as well, conservation is not a quick process, and restoration of watersheds, especially big ones, is definitely a generational feat. So, making sure that we include the next generation and the community and the volunteers as part of the process really is.
So, Tyrone, now that you have your new mission in life, actually, you've been doing this for 2 years now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what's it been like to the actual doing of it? You had a lot of paperwork. We were not going to talk about that because that's way too boring.
Yeah.
But actually getting into the planning and the planting,
Right.
how's that gone?
It's been really good. Yeah, meeting all these organizations and even residents. I met a lot of different people in the field, as well as biologists and other nonprofits. So they helped a lot making a management plan, which is basically laying out our vision into paper and how we're going to execute it. And from there, we started our first volunteer planting day, where we actually cleared, prepared, and planted some native Hawaiian plants.
So we have a picture of what it looked like before you started clearing, and what it looked like after that initial clearing. How many how many guys did you have clearing that?
This was actually with the help of KMWP's crew. I want to say it was around 6 people and around like half a day or so. So our current project is around 1 acre of land, and we're doing small pieces at a time, and hopefully to plant roughly around 1,200 trees in the next year.
So we should mention that you also have a day job, so all of this stuff is happening around that.
Right.
And you've just been really magnificent the way you've brought people together. For the first planting, that was we have a little clip of Miles Thomas, who's another one of the native Niu youngsters who is a graduate student at UH in biology. And how handy to have a Niu kid who is something of a prodigy, I think, when it comes to native plants. We have a little clip of him talking about the plants that you got him to bring.
So these particular plants of Biden sanvicensis are actually collected from Wa'ahila Ridge, so a few ridges over from here. It's an appropriate collection, and they are grown at Line Arboretum with the help of Tim Kressig, who is the horticulture manager and the greenhouse manager at the Arboretum. So along with this, we have a plant right here called Viki Viki. So this is Carnavalia galeata, which is Oahu endemic. There's also another name, Pua Kauhi, for this plant, and the flowers were used to make extravagant lei, a purple small flower. These seeds were actually collected on the ridge right over there, going up to Kulepeamoa, so they are kind of being, in essence, returned home. And Allison brought some of the same species, so you can take a closer look. Yeah,
these are also, we are descendants of a plant from up on that ridge. They're second generation.
Cool.
And where were they cultivated? My house.
Yeah, so yeah, some of these are cultivated at home, some are not, and all collective for the common outplanting. This tree right here, a lot of people may know as koa. This koa actually comes from Wailupe, and it comes from one of the lower trees in the valley. It's one that Chris Kramer has actually collected from and has been doing restoration with some of the Waldorf kids. So yeah, it's nice returning there too. This is hau. So there's hau, Hibiscus tilaceus, which is the sea hibiscus, H-A-U, hau. And then there's hau, H-A-O. So this is our native relative of the plumeria, Relvolthia sanvicensis. These seeds of these were actually collected from Wailupe as well. I collected them from a tree that was up on the central ridge and cultivated them at Line Arboretum. And now we are planting them back into Pia because this species used to exist throughout the range. And you can still find patches of these on Hawaii.
So as if everything else wasn't hard enough, you're doing this during COVID, as we see with Miles and his mask. So who else? What other kinds of people showed up to help you get these babies in, and what did you do?
Um, we had a bunch of different conservation workers and also people from all kinds of walks of life, from hikers to motocross bike riders to just school teachers. It was really good, a really good dynamic of people, and everybody just wanted to do something positive. It was really awesome.
So you guys had to carry the goods.
Yeah, I think it's from the water tower. It's just over 100 yards, so not too bad. Luckily, everybody's in decent shape.
So we have some pictures of what that whole adventure was like. It was quite the parade of botanists and budding botanists and plant enthusiasts. So everything has to be schlepped up for 100 yards, and there's parts of it that are pretty narrow actually too. So it's not for the faint of heart. But luckily you're in very good shape. So then we have to also take care of these plants once they're there. So we have a picture of your water supply, which I thought was ingenious. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so lucky enough, Board of Water Supply helped us out getting these 275-gallon totes. It was between me and JC came up with the idea to run catchments and just have some supply for water, so we could try and plant throughout the year. Most projects, they usually just plant in the winter and pray for the best during the summer. And then for me, I want to keep planting year round, so that was kind of a vital thing that I wanted to do.
So at the end of the day, we had a very nice little area, a mini kipuka, I would call it, of native plants. And the ones that we're looking at here, how are they doing now?
They're actually doing very well. We try to keep some some invasive plants to give shade to the natives until they grow big enough to create their own shade. But they are thriving, and the percentage of die-off is real minimal, so I'm very pleased with that.
And in this picture, some of the overstory actually was the natives, right? The alahe.
Yeah, so we're doing this kipuka style, so we try to focus on smaller areas that already have some natives, and then we just expand off of that. So
Speaking of kipuka, let's talk about let's hear what J.C. Watson has to say about this special area, a kind of dry land forest, which we don't hear too much about.
Dryland restoration in Hawaii is, like you guys said, is kind of tricky. I mean, for starters, the dry forests of Hawaii were historically the most ecologically diverse of the forests, but they're also the most threatened now. There really are no intact native dry forests left on Oahu. Maybe a splattering of a couple of small pockets across the island. Big Island still has some decent dryland forests. But that being said, it's also the victim of a lot of human management, whether that's mismanagement or not. With human habitation for 1,500 to 2,000 years, and then the ranching period. A lot of our low elevation dry forests were, including Pia, there was like cattle ran in Pia for like 200 years. And prior to the cattle, the ranchers cut all the trees down so the cattle could have pasture. And then they planted a whole bunch of invasive trees like haulekoa, which the cattle could eat and have shade. And then going back into a system that has been so drastically changed and altered over hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years, and going back in and repairing it is definitely no small feat. But that being said, I truly believe in the theory of tipping points and finding them. And with the natives being extirpated for 200 years, that's okay. We just got to put them back. And what I've seen with haulekoa in particular is it doesn't grow really all that fast and that tall, and it can be overtopped by native trees and pushed out by native trees. The guinea grass is really not all that shade tolerant. So once you get a canopy established, whether that's with pure native species or helpful Polynesian introduced species like kamani or kukui nut or something like that, that can create a big dark canopy and suppress the grass. Then you can actually have these successional plantings and go back in with the natives and fill in those gaps and manage the grass with the shade. And then before you know it, your trees that you had planted are producing seeds, and those are falling everywhere. And then
That's a beautiful vision.
those kipukas start getting bigger and growing together. And yeah, I mean, you can put a 1 acre square of lush dryland forest in the mouth of Pia Valley, and that'll be there for forever once it's established. And you just keep doing that an acre or so every couple years, and before you know it, it's 300 acres.
So I really appreciate, and I know that JC is correct about the cows in most places, but I do feel like I have to defend my great grandfather who had a dairy here. They fed the cows corn. They they didn't plant all the halikoa. Okay, just so you know, JC. So on top of everything else, you've had to invent this Protect and Preserve Hawaii entity and get the word out, and you've been doing it in a lot of different ways. I really am so impressed with how you've gotten that out. Talk about the you're an excellent photographer, thank goodness. So.
Well, luckily enough, Miles loves to hike, and he doesn't mind me tagging along. So he's helped me a lot with learning about the native plants and the ecosystems. And then he's also an amazing artist. So besides taking pictures with him hiking, then he also likes to draw native plants as well. So we utilized that, and we started making shirts. And we started our Instagram page as well as our web page, and just trying to network.
Remind us what the name of the Instagram page is.
So the Instagram and Facebook is Protect and Preserve Hawaii, and then the website is protectpreservehi.org. And you can donate through either one of those. And there's also shirts for sale at the website.
And if somebody was really excited about this and thought, wow, I would love to spend my Saturday that way. Is there some way for people to get involved?
So every second Saturday we're doing volunteer events where we are planting, and we usually put it up on the website 2 weeks before the event, and it's limited due to COVID, and we follow all the guidelines, mass questionnaires, all that good stuff. And we also have an ongoing list for a seed collection where we collect seeds, talk about why we use them and how to propagate that, and also give the option for them to plant it at home, and if they want to put it back and plant it in Pia Valley, they have that option as well. And we also have ongoing sign up for just site maintenance where we do watering and just check up on the site and the catchments. And, yeah.
So speaking of seeds, there's a special plant that I wanted you to talk a little bit about, the wili wili.
The wili wili. It's amazing dryland music forest plant. Is it Erythrina sanoensis? The Hawaiians used to use it for surfboards. I think also for the outboard on their canoes. It's a really cool plant, and that's what's in season right now. And so we are going actually tomorrow to collect some seed.
Okay, so this is the season where you can go and find these trees. They were decimated by a gall wasp a while back, and there's some that have survived. They take a long time to grow, and so this is really amazing that you're now really taking people to go from seed to plant and then to be able to bring it home. It was really a great idea.
Thanks.
So we have Willy Willy season, and then what else do you have coming up?
Just because of the area we're trying to plant, in the dry air, there's only a few that actually can handle the drought. So the next one will probably be Ali'i, and maybe like a ground shrub like ule. So we'll be, when the next season comes along, we'll be collecting those as well. But for now, we have a pretty decent seed bank in Ali from the last season. So if it takes too long, then maybe we'll just have some programs for them to plant it without actually picking it. But I like to try and keep them engaged and, you know, give them a chance to give back somehow and put their hands in the ground.
So if somebody wants to sign up, they should go to your website, is that
Yep.
right?
And the contact information and my email is all on top of that page.
On the the business end of it, this has got to be sort of challenging to make this all flow together with all the different partnerships. And how are you keeping this all together?
I definitely like a challenge, but yeah, it is tasking because most of this stuff is administrative, environmental. It's all kind of new to me, so it's exciting but nerve-wracking at the same time. And I do this just nights and weekends, so, but just taking it one step at a time.
What I love about this story is that you've come so far in such a short period of time. I mean, really, it was summer of 2018
Yeah.
that you acquired Pia.
Yep. And then from there, I think.
You were a hiker before that, but
Yeah.
did you do anything with plants?
No, I didn't even know what. I barely knew any native Hawaiian plants at that time, and most of the time I was just hiking to get to the view and you know, overlooking all that, and then I honestly didn't realize the importance of them. So it's super cool, just learning something new and the value behind it.
So what did you grow up doing, or what were you doing before you had this?
I was honestly like into motorsports, you know, racing cars, motorcycles, and then, you know, more recently doing CrossFit and trail running, marathons, stuff like that. Nothing to the environmental science like that, not to that point, but.
I think that is so inspiring, Tyrone, that someone can come from a completely different background. You grew up in Makakilo, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So also dry mountains.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But to take you're using all kinds of skills. I love that you and JC came up with that catchment thing.
Yeah.
So you're doing your technical stuff, and thank God you're fit, because you're not at all daunted by the idea of taking on a project like this with 330 acres.
Yeah.
So I hope that your message gets out to a lot of the young people in Hawaii, because you're really an inspiration to go out and really find something.
Thanks.
And make it your own.
Right.
You're making it your own.
Thanks.
So we look forward to seeing what becomes of Protect and Preserve Hawaii, and catching up with you in the mountains.
Thanks for having me.
I'm Kaui Lucas, and this is Making Democracy Work.